You're experiencing the Authentic Chaos Podcast, an exploration into our inner selves and journeys of self-discovery. I'm your host, Vahagan Yarnosian, and joining me today, a returning guest, an old friend, Jason McIntosh. Welcome, Jason, the king.
Oh, yes, all right. That's planned, babe. Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, Jason. It's been good to see you. And it was good to see you, what was that, like about a month ago in Hanoi?
Yeah, a month and, well, it would be a month.
Yeah, a bit over a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've both been traveling. We met up in Vietnam, and you were doing a little traveling around Vietnam and Cambodia. I was just doing some traveling in Cambodia. So to start off, let's talk. What's a memorable memory you have from your trip?
Oh, my God. Where do we begin? Well, I can start off by saying in Bali, I lost my phone. And the story behind that was I was completely sober when I did so. So we were
Which is the surprising part.
Yeah. The little bikes that you ride, the taxis. So it's,
Yeah.
me, a few of the others were going to the beach, and I had my, that little Eshe bag, and I put my phone in that because right in front of me, one of my mates had sun cream of all things, fall out, and I go, oh, get it. Like he kept on riding, he didn't even notice. Boom, my phone goes out. I didn't have the internet on. Before I knew, like a few feet up, I was like, oh no, my phone's gone.
Oh man, and you didn't hear it like fall out or anything?
Nope. I just had a feeling in my head, and so that happened, and I think that's when I realized, how am I so chill about it? Like I was obviously concerned.
Yeah.
Kept on riding.
But you did seem pretty chill about it. I mean, I wasn't there with you in Bali, but when you were talking about it, is definitely it's a funny story, which is a great way to take it, honestly.
Well, like even accessing money nowadays, like to put on your travel card, etc., etc. I don't know how it is over in America, but you need your Commonwealth app, right?
Yeah.
And to get on that from a new phone, they need to send a verification to your number, and I couldn't do that.
Oh,
so I access it through another app, and then bang, got my money. But like, I lost the phone. I lost 2 travel cards. I even lost my credit card at one point.
Oh, because they were all on the phone.
Oh no! These cards were in the flesh, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, were they on like a case with the phone?
No, in my wallet. So in the ATMs, if you don't press cancel at the end, it swallows your machine. It swallows it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I just think I lost my credit card. And they're like, what the? And I'm like, oh, it's all good. We'll go out to dinner. I've got money. If not, whatever. And then another person on the trip lost his card as well. And he was like, oh, I just went back to the place. So I went back to the place, got my credit card. So I was like, fuck. That was a close one. Gave him the clutch. It was good. Good dinner then. Got a palmy.
What was for dinner?
Palmy. Parmesan.
Nice.
What do you call it? Parma. They had a big on the first trip, an argument about what they call it. So we call it palmy over here, but apparently you just call it a chicken parmesan.
Yeah. Chicken parmesan is what is more of what we call it here. Yeah.
The American girl did not give 2 shits. She's like, I call it this. Full stop. And then there's the if I show you, I've got 2 tattoos which I got. So, can you see them?
Yeah.
The wheelchair and the monkey with rabies.
Oh,
So
what's the
you didn't.
monkey with rabies?
So as you know, I had my book, and if I got it out one night, and I was like, what should I get tattooed on me?
Oh,
And that did a poll, monkey with rabies. So the next day I went out, got it, bang.
but
Because
was there a significance to the monkey with rabies for it being on the pole in general?
so I got bit by a monkey while I was over there.
Oh no.
Went to the same temples we went to last year,
What was
right?
yeah. But there were more
And
monkeys?
there was way too many. And
Whoa.
I had one point a little baby monkey on me,
Mhm.
right? So it's pretty cool. But what's I'm thinking? But on that bit as well, we had one of the girls. She had food poisoning and dehydration. She fainted.
Oh no.
So I grabbed her and was guiding her around.
Yeah.
2 temples it took, and I was like, "Tuan, can you do your fucking job?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right. Like she needs help. She needs to get out
I
of
was
there.
I was ready to grab a tuk tuk and just take it back to the hotel because
Yeah.
calling my terror twin now, like, we're maybe I'm a bit more crazier, but maybe we're separated at birth. But she was, out of it, like, and he was just did not know what to do. There was 2 tour guides, and they did not know what the
Oh,
fuck was.
that's not good. That's not good. You want your tour guide to know like what to do in that situation, especially if you're doing like a multi-week tour. Like that's a pretty
Oh,
big tour.
so after that, we went back to the hotel. Oh,
Mhm.
and I was like, what's a responsible thing to do? Fuck that. I'm going to drink. So I was very quiet at the temple,
Mhm.
but there was this big monkey and it had a water bottle.
Yeah.
And I was going to step around it like I was working in the kitchen. And when I go in the kitchen, I just put my hand out.
Mhm.
Bang, it got me. And I'm just like,
It just
apparently
bit
I
your
just,
hand?
yeah, but it was like a warning shot. You know how like cats that bite you but not hard enough?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
ow, oh, okay. And everybody's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. You just got bit
So
by
in
a
my
monkey. Does it have rabies? What other disease could it potentially have?
like, had the tetanus shot, but I was going through my head. I was like, had to say my name, how old I am, gender, where I'm from. I was like, I'm not going crazy. I'm not doing this. But walking up those stairs, I sweated more than last year because obviously, yeah. So got out alive somehow.
Yeah, you seem fine. Like you made it back in one piece.
Oh, I because the Cambodian bit of the trip, obviously I've done it,
Yeah.
but so it was good to be like, oh, this is where we can go. Like you
Mhm.
remember that last year where there's the photo of us peering out of the pillars in that temple?
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. In
Yeah, yeah,
Angkor
yeah.
Wat,
So,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And they weren't going to do that. And I was like, hey guys, we did this last year.
Yeah.
How about we do it? And they loved it. So it
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
fun.
I had an edge over the tour guide. It was like,
True. I guess you can thank Elle for that.
I did. And it's
Nice.
like when me and you hung out and you're taking me around to all these foodie places and that. And then the edge
Acting
over
like your
everything.
little, I was your local guide to Hanoi, having
Yeah,
just
but,
gotten there myself.
so I was like, oh, there's a bar new place there. There's this, this. But that was always fun.
That was a
Like
lot of
having,
fun. Yeah.
yeah,
When I travel, I love to just like immerse myself in like, or at least participate in the culture and customs that I'm like visiting. So I love like just wandering around city streets and like finding random spots or like getting recommendations from locals and just like feeling like acting like I'm living there too.
Yeah, well, I think I woke up about 6 every morning,
Hmm.
maybe earlier, and then I go walk all endlessly around
Yeah.
and then get lost because I didn't have reception on my phone. But I'd find myself
Not
back.
until you got your SIM card, right? Or did you not get a new SIM card in Cambodia?
Uh, no.
Unfortunately, your Vietnam SIM probably didn't work so well.
Funny story about that,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So last year I had a Cambodian visa.
Hmm.
I think I get one this year, right?
Well, we got it at the border, right?
I got it at the border,
Yeah.
but I didn't think so. Yeah, I had to get it at the border, and that was a bit of personal. You know, oh shit! What if they go? No, get lost. There we go.
You've been to Cambodia too many times.
Uh, it's like I was telling them because everybody knows how I like the 7-Elevens over there
Oh yeah.
and Toasties. I wanted one. And everybody's like, there's no 7-Elevens here. Yes, there is. So I hadn't had like dairy for, well, pretty much a month, right?
Hmm.
So drank something that had dairy. And then later on, I was drinking one of those towers of
Like the
the,
beer tower?
yeah, yeah, but it was Long Island iced tea.
That's intense. That's that's like how many buckets is that?
Too many, but giant rash started appearing from the reaction of the dairy. So everybody's
Oh.
that. And then my roommate, he was sharing a pina colada tower,
Yeah.
and he's fucked it, and I'm like, oh shit. But one of the girls, you could see she was pissed off, just wanted to go home.
Hmm.
We're like, okay, Tuan and that can take them back. I can take a walk. Hopefully, this rash will go away, which it
Yeah.
did.
That's good.
And along the way, like an angel from the sky, I see those beautiful, beautiful 7-Eleven. And I
The
just
toasty from heaven.
I went, "Ah!" Just ran in there like a madman. And they're all just waiting out front because I've just been yapping about it the whole time.
Yeah.
So blessed be the heavenly toasties from our fathers.
Just getting that like nice like cheese and meat and like that like panini pressed like bread, like just a little toasted, a little pressed, a little cheesy, a little meaty. It's a nice treat.
Oh man, I think after that point I'd have 2 breakfasts. So I'd wake up, go get the toasty, and then come back about 2 hours later and have my breakfast at the hotel. So
Hmm.
it's glad that I was eating more because like last year I was eating less and probably dehydrated as well, as we can all tell.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it would make sense. There was a lot of drinking, and it was very, very hot. I think it was like in the upper 30s or probably in the 40s in Cambodia when we were there the whole time. I remember it being really hot in Siem Reap. And for my U.S. listeners, which is most of my audience, that is in Celsius. So it was about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It was hot. It was hot. It was dry. It was scorching.
Well, found a way to combat it because when I go into the marts or something, I'm just thinking energy drinks or some crap like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get water. But Top Deck gave us where is it? These bottles, right?
Oh
Um,
nice.
and I've got 2 of them because I was on the Bali and this one.
Hmm.
So I boil some water in the kettle and then put it in there.
Oh,
By
that's
the time
smart.
I'm
Hmm.
later, yeah, I learned that off the first roommate I had,
Mm-hmm.
because he was doing that. And then for the rest of the trip, all the people in Vietnam one were looking at me like, doing? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Uh,
not gonna.
as a little bit of an aside, I think I hear a slapping sound coming from your end.
Oh, sorry, I'm playing with this car. I put it
Okay.
away.
It's a little distracting.
Oh, oh, jeez. Like, we visited the killing fields again this year.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, when I was there, I took a gem like this. It was the Tiger Stone.
Yeah.
And I remember the one place I put it in front of this giant statue. It was like the mother protecting the child.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that again this year. So thankfully nobody cried like last year, but it was rough. But
Yeah, it's a really, I mean, it's a hard place to be. It's hard to like, yeah. I mean, yeah, for those who don't know, Killing Fields were that was during the Khmer Rouge, right? Like the like part of the Civil War, they were just like massacring people en masse and like in these mass graves, and people were basically just digging their own graves after points. And so it's like these mounds and these just this dirt field just full of the dead.
the one thing that always get me is that tree, and they get the kids, the newborns, and just whack them.
Yeah.
The tree, bang. Um,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
utterly horrific. It
yeah,
it's you know, when we look back at history, and it's not even like that far of history, right? Like the people who fought as child soldiers against the Khmer Rouge are like adults right now. They're not like grandparents. This happened within the last generation. So, sometimes it feels like, doesn't it feel, do you feel like sometimes these like historical events just feel like so far ago or so long ago?
and there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing how like far, how long ago history feels, but like really these things aren't necessarily that long ago. And like, you know, there's still atrocities like that happen today, and it's sad. It's sad to think that like that people have such a dismal view of other humans that they don't even recognize them as humans.
very rough.
Sorry, it was a little rough.
I brought it up. Yeah, but
And I think it happens. I think that there are variations of that attitude, right? Like nothing, like it. We don't. It doesn't necessarily um, occur in these large, grandiose like atrocities, but like can also be reflected in maybe how people view other people on like smaller levels. Like for instance, in the U.S., and maybe this is a problem, like something that people feel elsewhere. There's a there's definitely a sense of entitlement of people against like service workers, especially like wait staff, where the any inconvenience starts to become like a personal attack against them from the wait staff, and maybe or like customer service, and like so all of the inconveniences that they have, all of the grievances they have get funneled into this one person, and they don't care who they're hurting. They don't care that this other person like really probably has a lot going on, is working other tables, or is working other, like has a bunch of other calls on the line, and doesn't like, you wouldn't feel great if someone was just berating you while you're trying to do your work.
yeah, good old freaking hospitality, eh?
Yeah.
It's like chefs are the jocks of the creative industries and all that. If you think about it,
How so?
well, we play with food, we play with knives. There's probably a bit more sledging out the back, like
Hmm.
and we're held accountable to a certain degree, but the wait staff cop that, so we've got it fun. Obviously, it's a stressful industry as well.
Yeah.
They're the jocks of the art world. Yeah, yeah, I love it. Um,
I forget if we talked about this last time we met, or we chatted on the podcast. But where does your love of food come from?
um, Probably because my parents could not really cook when I was younger.
Hmm.
So I was like, I can do better. And also, like, sometimes when you cook for someone, that can change their whole day. If the meal's good, it's going to live rent free in their head and change how they view the day, which
Yeah.
is cool. Like, I wanted to do psychology to help people, but then, like, working in the kitchen is a whole new, different aspect of that. Like, you've got crazies, but somehow we all function. Like a lot of alcoholics as well. So we love our drinkies.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I think, I also think that we're all a little crazy when you like, strip back, or when you look at us on a more detailed levels, you could probably find the chaos within us, within everyone. But maybe a certain level, a certain type of passion, it goes into being chef, goes into working the back of house.
I also get to make my own meals, so
True.
create something crazy.
I find
Yeah.
I like how you said it, that like you wanted to help people with psychology, but like food is an excellent way to do that. And it's like you're nourishing both like physically and mentally. Like I have a lot of friends who, in our 30s are kind of realizing that like maybe the diets of the 20s aren't working out so well for them. It's like their body needs more than just what they were eating before. And that certain foods maybe feel like they taste better than they did before, and they feel better about themselves when they eat these foods, and they feel more energy, and it like improves their day. And they notice that like, oh, when I don't get enough food, when I don't get enough calories, I feel like weak and can't really do much. And, I kind of feel terrible. I even had a case like that earlier this week, like earlier in the week, I was kind of in a rut. I was like, I was pretty stressed. And because of that, I wasn't very hungry, and I didn't eat much. But then, it was starting to be the end of the day, and I was like, I can't actually do this. I know, like, my mind is telling me my body isn't hungry, but I know I haven't really eaten much today, and I need to get some kind of nutrients in me. So, like, I made something quick, something light, had some fruit, and I think that really helped out, because I woke up and I felt a lot better, and I felt more like to my normal eating routine, and got back to normal that way.
Yeah, well, how do I word it? Obviously, with a lot of drinking, and there was a lot of drinking on my trip. I
Mm.
drank for a whole month. But if I wasn't eating and getting water, I'd be on the toilet all the
Oh,
time. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
and there was a lot of talk about the toilet around our group, like a lot of Tom Brady talk and
What does Tom
just
Brady talk? Like locker room talk or something?
Tom Brady has like some unique species. Like, you get some of that, and you get
What?
yeah, they
What?
were they were on a whole new level of the spectrum. Okay, like Tom Brady, man. But yeah, um, eating all the food, all the good food, and then I needed some white man food sometimes because waking up and having fried rice, that's, I don't know, became my enemy just seeing fried rice.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, yeah, I'd be looking at someone's plate like, get that away from me, boy. So, and half the stuff I do when drinking, I don't know how I'm alive. Like, how long bay wasn't it when I was on that shit? I think I have it right. There's because I was climbing everywhere. Like,
Mhm.
if I could climb it, I would. So where is it? Where's the camera? There it is. So you see that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, you were on the boat.
Yep, yep. So I climbed the side of the boat.
Oh
Uh,
man, that was a that was a really thin rail.
yeah, in my fancy shoes, I'm pretty sure. A
Hmm.
bit of ace and that, like, and like the first way I introduced the book to everybody, I was like, so who's gonna fall off the off the boat?
Yeah.
And yeah, there was 11 votes for me. Clear winner.
I mean, you kind of like proved their point, you know.
Well, it was fun. I just wanted to climb the boat
Yeah,
into.
I get
I was
that.
like,
Was it slippery at all?
I thought I was going to fall in and die. I had karaoke on that boat as well, like, um, but all the oldies were hogging it,
Mm.
and it's like three. I think it was like 3 or 5 Japanese guys, and all the girls were fawning over them. So that was pretty funny, just watching them all gathered around these blokes. And now I'm like, hey, I want to get in. Let's talk to
Were
them.
they on your tour or were they on a
I don't know. So like it was just Japanese blokes,
nice?
the oldies, and then our group of like I think it was like 18 or more
Hmm.
people, maybe
Yeah, I think
21.
they put about like 20 or so on the boats, on at least the smaller boats.
Yeah, ours was pretty
Yeah.
big. We went to this island. We kept on calling it TikTok Island.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. I think it's T Top. T Top.
Yeah, there you go. So we just called it TikTok Island. Um, I was like, "Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead? Can I?" Okay, I'm off, and they have beer everywhere. So I'm going to purchase it. I'm doing a beer run around this whole island, and then on the TikTok island, beer run.
You're like buying all the stock on the island. Didn't the boat have like a bar on it?
Oh yeah, yeah, and they were doing like happy hour at one
Oh
point.
yeah, yeah. I remember the happy hour. I
I
did one
was
of these
double,
tours too.
I was double parked the whole night. So yeah, and then I know there was where was the other place? It was like this kind of island thing. It was after how long
Oh,
Bay?
was it Kat Ba?
Maybe, maybe, but it was just big beach. And I was talking to one of them, but
Hmm.
I was being a bit of a smart ass. Like, I know nothing of what they do for work,
Hmm.
like how they do it. But I was like, yeah, yeah, I can do this. To the point where she was shaking in anger. And then,
Whoa! What you might? Okay, okay. How? Hold on, hold on. How much of a
let me
smartass were you being?
say me, I to the point where she'd probably punch me in the head if I didn't diffuse. And then I started listening, and it was cool. We were just lying there looking up at the stars, and then she was like, um, Jason, you have so much fucking potential and you need to be more confident in yourself, but you got to read the room sometimes. But like, it was really cool because it was like a smack to the face. It was like, you're right, you're right. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But like,
good
what does reading the room mean to you?
Well, sometimes you shouldn't push buttons to the point where they're literally shaking and anger and all that.
Okay. That that's fair. Maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah, and obviously there was people that we like to drink, and then there's none. So we just
Mhm.
go to the back of the bus, and we'd be talking. All the others would be up the front, which is fine. Like we weren't really on the bus much of the trip, which was good.
Okay. Not long.
But
No long bus rides this time.
oh, there was a 3 hour one to the
Well,
killing
that's
fields
not
up
too long though.
there. But like I always got my beloved back seat right in the middle. You know the one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You sprawled over the back seats.
Yeah. I think one day I didn't sit at the back, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like,
Are you okay?
never let them know your next move. Ah, and like trying new things wasn't only just for foods as well. Like, because I was like, oh, I'll do some nangs while I'm over there.
Yeah,
To the
and
point,
that's the balloons, right? And
yeah,
this is
yeah.
nitrous oxide balloons, so this the laughing gas.
Oh boy, it did make me laugh to the point where I went out of it and seen my own version of heaven. So it was like we were on like one of those night trains,
Mhm.
and then I seen like a few of my pets that had passed away,
Yeah.
and I was telling you about it. Like one of the mentors, Phil, and my grandmother, Jane.
Oh
Um,
wow.
she she was just sitting there reading a book, and then Phil was like, what was it? He's like, "Oi, dickhead, come drink," and then I snapped back into it. Like I thought I was vomiting on the ground, but I was just coming up, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think I only vomited once on the trip.
Well, that's good. Well,
Yep,
sucks that you had to do it, but sometimes it's necessary.
that was a fun experience in my own crazy way. So,
Oh, how is that a fun experience?
so I was on the first night train, and it wasn't like the ones in Thailand. You were allowed to drink on there, and instead
Hmm.
of them being rows and then the beds, it was actual cabin, and there
Oh
was
yeah,
four.
yeah, yeah. I did a few of those night trains. This is in Vietnam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah. I'm very familiar
so
with those.
I got food poisoning from I think it was eggs or something earlier,
Oh no.
but I ignored it. I was like, no, no, I am belly.
How how
And
how do you ignore food poisoning though? Like just try to like avoid the call of nature.
sometimes we forget we're human.
Yeah.
But we were playing or something in one of the girls' rooms, and then was drinking, and then I just felt my stomach go, "Mm," and I'm like, okay, I gotta go.
No
Um,
explanation. You're like, something. Yep. I'll be right back. Maybe.
and then I just went like it was delusional, but in my head it was like I was under the sea, but like all these lights and that. And then I was going puking and everything, and in the toilets as well,
Yeah.
just the whole carriage. And
Oh my god. You.
one girls was like trying to help me because I helped her the first day when she vomited. But I'm like, no, no, it's all good. But like in my eyes, it was just like all this
Oh,
going on.
oh my god.
And I was sleeping on the floor in front of the carriages, like
Yeah.
top bunk. No, it just made my stomach go.
Oh no. Oh yeah. And those trains can be kind of shaky.
But the second trip, second night train, sensational.
Nice,
But
nice.
I like it, even if I did vomit on the first one.
Hey, at least you didn't take a night bus, because if you took a night bus, you'd be vomiting and you wouldn't be able to get any sleep.
Oh.
Because the bus drivers kind of drive like maniacs sometimes in Vietnam. Like they have a schedule, and not only are they gonna make the schedule, they're gonna beat the schedule. It's like a race for them.
Oh, hey, Thailand, Cambodia, Bali, their drivers are insane. Like, I
Yeah,
remember,
not conducive to sleeping.
oh, getting off Bali, and I had no freaking idea what I was doing. And this cab driver comes up to me and is like, "Where you going?" Told him where I'm going. And I was like, I had 100 USD from the trip last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, will this do? Not knowing the value of 100 USD. So he was just like,
You're like, here's some money, take me where I want to go. And he's like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
probably went home. He probably rang his missus up and went, "Get the red panties ready. I'm coming up." Baby. So,
I'm
yeah,
bringing home the bacon.
all the bacon. So,
Although I guess that's kind of ironic for Bali, since
yeah.
Indonesia's Muslim.
I'm still convinced that I ate dog over there.
I don't think you probably didn't eat dog. It was probably just imported cow, imported beef.
Well, I was telling everybody that I had that dog in the it was the best burger. It lived rent free in my mind. They're all Muslim over there. What are people like?
Yeah, but to be fair, for Bali, they like basically forgo all of the traditions and customs just to cater to Western audiences. Which, I mean, I say to be fair, but also it feels shitty, right? It feels shitty that this culture has to like cater to our tastes. Like,
Yeah,
what if someone came to your house and was like, or into your town and was like, "Nah, I don't like this. We should change it."
I kind of like that.
Well, I know that's fair. Maybe there's some things you'd like to change.
Make this quiet, sleepy town a party central.
But I feel like that's what happened with Bali. Like, you go back like 50 years ago, probably no one was really going to Bali until like the first I don't know.
Yeah, because it's so cheap and that. But I only went on that trip because I'd never been,
Yeah.
and like it was cheap. So, and I didn't think ahead because like they had their day of silence or something.
Mm,
I had to leave the trip 2 days or a day ahead
yeah.
to Kuta and then go to the airport. But like at the airport, there was like the ceremonies that they had, and they just go in the middle of the road
Mm-hmm.
and have all their instruments playing, right? So we probably went about 1.5 hours around trying to get into the airport just so I could go to Hanoi.
Oh wow.
No, yeah, but it was worth it.
I mean, that's a cool I mean, you got to experience the customs, so that's cool. With the Day
Yeah.
of Silence. What is the Day of Silence?
Well, because I didn't see that, like, the Day of Silence, none of them are out. Like, even the people that are over there on the day have to stay in their hotel rooms and that.
Mm.
Read too much into it, so I only have a surface level understanding. But the first tour guide I had, I called him boss, but he was or he was awesome. So, like,
Hence why boss.
yeah, boss. That night I drank too much. He was even trying to contact me through WhatsApp.
Hmm.
Like, hey, are you okay? Because I was meant to go on
Oh,
a
but was
tour.
this after your phone?
No, no, no. This was before the phone,
Before the phone?
actually.
Okay, okay.
I was meant to go on a 2 a.m. hike because I paid for it, but um, there was a certain level of whiskey involved, and
Wait, Mr. Jameson said no, no to the hike.
we didn't think to eat some food. And
You save money that way, you know?
we were going over to one of the girls, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're too far deep in this. Good night." And then, like, I fell asleep. Then they woke me up, and they were asking the other boys. They were like, "Should we put him in a stretcher or a wheelchair?" And they were like, "Needs to be a wheelchair." So I got the send off, and there was two security guards that took me back, and
Hmm.
then Ben, who was ex-military, so he's a big boy. Apparently walking behind. Apparently, I look like Conor McGregor walking down. Uh,
You kind of got that look, you know? You've got the swagger.
and then two of the nice girls came back, and they were basically like, "Go to sleep, go to sleep," because I would have gone on that hike. They don't know that I could have, but fell asleep. But the whole time I was like, "Can I have a hug?" Or I'd look at Joel and I'd be like, "I fucking love you, man." Yeah. So they were very nice, but thankfully, not again. Make sure you always eat. And I'm not
Yes.
I'm not glorifying drinking. I just happen to enjoy it. So yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their vices. But it is
Yeah.
important to eat, and it's important to eat well and keep yourself fed. You know, healthy. Like you eat a nice, like wholesome food, and you feel wholesome. You feel better. You can do all the things, all the fun things you want in your life, but treat yourself to a good meal. I
Will I
think.
be taking a wheelchair?
Yeah. Oh, do you want to explain your wheelchair story?
Oh, that was it. Because
Yeah. And that gets back going full circle. That gets back to his second tattoo that he showed of the wheelchair.
yeah, so I've
So
essentially got
you had a pretty eventful trip.
like way too eventful. Got a lot out of it, more than I was expecting, and like
What did you
thankfully got.
get out of what did you get out of it that you didn't expect to?
Well, we went to what do they call it? I had it. Um, so well, I made more friends, and a lot more people wrote in the book this year.
Do you
Um,
want to explain your book to the audience?
so essentially, and there's the book from last year as well.
Hmm.
So this year's book, I'm a bit too full on when you meet me. So you need that kind of level ground to kind of connect with people. I'm like, if you want to write down in it, you can. If you don't, it's cool. I won't look at anything until I get back home. Um, so they could have written the most obscene crap, and but yeah, like it was nice, and you could see that a lot of people liked it a lot more, and it's people that not for them. It's all good, but yeah, it's a way of connecting and all that. So
Yeah.
it's one place. So because things change and change on tour, so we had a free day, but a few of us to see. I think it's probably butcher the name. Banana Hills or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
Ba Na Hills.
There you
Yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. In Da Nang, Vietnam. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I really wanted to see that, like the giant hand, but I didn't know it was a whole theme park as well.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's got more than what I expected, like seeing a giant Buddha, um, all the nicks and knacks around there. Unfortunately, the roller coaster wasn't working there.
Oh, dang. All right, should I say, oh, dang.
Yeah, because I would have gone on it and probably had my heart back up.
Yeah, yeah.
But I looked like a full-on tour guide on that one. Like I had my green hat,
Oh,
which I lost on the last day. But
what?
yep,
It
the
made it
last
survived the whole trip up until the very end.
yeah. So sorry. I see. Um, we went out. Instead of hanging out with them on the last day, I went on this pub run thingy
Oh, okay.
with this friend I'd made the day before.
Oh, Siem Reap pub run. Nice. Fun.
And we were not back till 5 a.m. in the morning. And then I had a
Oh
power
boy.
nap.
That was a pub marathon.
Yeah. Had a power nap and then said goodbye to a few of them and then essentially died in bed till like 11 o'clock and then went out and got this tattoo on that very day. But
Oh, the monkey
one,
one?
yeah, one of the guys, he got this and he didn't want to carry it around. So
Yeah.
this is mine. Got a picture of some Asian girl on there. We call it Eli's wife, my roommate, homies. Whole new, whole new level of don't judge a person by its, that kind of scenario. Which I was like, there's something. He was a bit shy.
Yeah.
But he was very, very interesting and very good to party with. And if we didn't want to do stuff, we'd go our own ways. But we'd often hang out. And he was really good.
So
Good second.
how did you initially judge him?
Well, I was like, he's quiet and reserved. And so the first day, because I had the room to myself because I'd been earlier. So met up with a few of them and they're like, oh, can we put our bags in your room while we're waiting for ours? We're like, oh, sure, sure, sure. And he snuck by because he got another key, snuck by. And he went in to, just make himself, comfortable. There's all these bags and that. And then one of the girls had an idea. They were like, you should write a really creepy note to him and then just jump out of the cupboard or something. So I run up and then he's already in there and I'm like, I was going to write a creepy note. Like,
You ruined the whole plan.
and he was like, okay. But and then two of the other girls, they went up to get their bags. Didn't say anything for a bit, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way." So he was like, "What the hell is this guy? Who is he?" And all that. But yeah, I liked like if I try some crappy food from like a mart or something, I'd be like, "Eat this. Here's a beer. Hey, I've got some vodka. Want some?" So it's fun to share. And then he'd be like, eat this, eat this. Sometimes we'd take a little sneaky picture of if we were sleeping. So, yeah.
Keep yourself accountable. Yeah. It sounds like a fun relationship, almost like brothers or something, right? Like sometimes you get close with your roommate.
Yeah, well, my terror twin, Annie, would call, like, Eli was her dad in a way. I was like the crazy uncle. So when we were around, she'd feel good. Like, nothing, no trouble could, surface.
Mm.
Got us to, like, which was funny. So, and if she was really hypo, I'd be calm. But then if she was really calm, I'd be really hypo. And
Oh.
everybody else, like, oh God, who's going to be the menace today? So,
But like it's interesting that you both kind of moderated each other. You provided a comfortable and secure environment for her, like, and that's awesome.
yeah, and that's the one that was down last week. So, already met up with one of them, which is good. So,
Nice. That's even better.
and the big circles that we had. So, you're not just limited to hanging out with one person, it's a whole crew. So, yeah, love that. So, we'll do it again.
That's
And
great.
so, confronted like one thing that was holding me back over there. So, like, I don't really swim because naturally my glands go up, and like, there's a whole level of aspect to that. But
Mm.
like, then it became basically me sometimes trying to impress one other person and be like, look what I can do and all that.
Oh, like showing off your peacock feathers.
um, but yeah, so one day they were all doing snorkeling, but I wanted to go back to the hotel, that place, before everyone else because I needed a shower.
Mhm.
Always stinks. And so I had that, and then I was like, you know what? I could go around this. I could just jump in the pool and try and teach myself how to swim again and all that. Like, and by then they'd all known the story, and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then he's like, "Are you still alive? Are you still alive?" Yes, not. So it's good confronting fears just like that, like, especially when you kind of feel like, look what I can
Mm.
do.
How,
So
so obviously everyone seemed to be concerned. So did you tell them that you about like your relationship with swimming?
yeah. So because like I could hop in like some average pools and that, but I'd stay away from it. And even like I live near beaches.
Yeah.
There's all beaches, so been depriving myself of that so much. But like it was 2 days ago, I went to the beach and had a nice dip.
Nice.
Got all the beach in my hair, so it's good to have that. Like,
Yeah, that's great. It seems like you really like opened yourself up to this new possibility that you maybe you're resolving these fears or dealing with these blocks that you had. That's great.
well, that what was the name of the place again? Whatever the
Bana.
hills place.
Yeah, yeah.
So all the lifts that would go up, we had one man that's afraid of heights, like
Mm.
terrified. So like when he was in one of our carriages going up, like we'd be like, calm for him because initially we just wanted to make it go.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you wouldn't appreciate that.
And like my mind was going crazy. I was like, what if a giant snake came up and just you stop? Fine, buddy.
I've learned that some people have very vivid, like get very vivid images when like they hear stuff like that. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah, man, babbling on. You wouldn't want that if you were terrified of all this stuff. So.
Yeah, especially with snakes in particular. Snakes seem to be like a consistent, like natural fear among like primates.
Yeah,
Um,
well, another girl that had a fear of snakes, and then bang, there's like this cage full, like cage with two big snakes. So
Oh man.
I was kind of standing in front of her just so she, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not scared of them, but yeah, I get where the fear comes from.
And I'm sure being in the cage isn't the worst, but like, do you get any of those people that like that will put a snake on you and then like be like, oh, take a photo with my snake, and then they say like, okay, that'll be $20 for a photo or something, or they'll be like, okay, pay me extra to get the snake off of you.
Didn't have that, but we got off the bus and there was these kids with tarantulas,
Oh.
and I freaked out and just went, yay, ran, and then come back from the toilet and I'm like, yeah, Mama didn't raise no chicken, so I had at one point I had one there on my arm, and then
Yeah.
one there, and then one there, so I had three of them on me, and
Were you standing while this is happening? Were you laying down?
I was standing, and by the end of it I was shaking, but
Yeah.
it was like comes back into the look what I can do kind of scenario. So
And I think there are quite a few like non-poisonous tarantulas. I know I had a friend in grad school who actually had a pet tarantula that he named Valentina, and he was very stoked about her.
they're very funny to hold, but I think everybody thinks that Australia we have just pet spiders and all that. So
No,
which is
I mean, I think most people think you just that y'all have just spiders that will kill you.
well, they can, but they're not really around.
That's good. Yeah.
Little tiny baby huntsman in my bathroom
Mm.
the other day. That little girl was watching me shower, so I got
With its 8 eyes, getting.
naughty. Doesn't even pay rent. Come on. At my house.
You're sharing it together.
Uh, it might as well become a frat house if that's a bloody.
Hey, in some places you don't get a choice. Like you're gonna just see insects and critters, right?
Man, sometimes they're not welcome, especially the big ones.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
because they staunch up, and I don't want this thing jumping at my face. 'Cause
That's the nightmare. That's my nightmare. I think a giant spider just jumping, falling onto my face.
it's disgusting.
I
But yeah,
I remember once in grad school, I so big spiders are scary, but sometimes I feel like the smaller ones are the real problems. I was like, it was late. I had to ride my bike to the lab to do some work. And I luckily was using my headlamp to like find things. And I saw this spider hanging from my bike. And it had the red hourglass on it. It was the black spider, red hourglass, black widow. And I was like, oh, nope, 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 nope. Not dealing with that.
you have a lot of the spiders come out from like your windshield or something in the car,
Oh, yeah.
just highway. A lot of accidents caused by that. People just go. A lot of people over here, if they'd seen a spider, they'd probably be tempted to burn their house down.
That's a rough thing in Australia where you have a lot of spiders, and some of them are probably in your home.
A lot of them stay away because they know you don't pay rent. I'll throw you off the balcony. I used to kill them back in the day, but I can't help it. So just get it.
Yeah, exactly. They don't understand. They're just there. Right?
Yeah.
They're doing their thing. Yeah, yeah.
Everything.
I think it's more more respectable to not kill them. Just let them out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Um, yeah.
But
It's like,
I think sometimes it's easy to forget about the important role that some of these insects have in our lives, right? Like the spider isn't just a nuisance. Maybe that spider was eating some of the other insects that would be more of a nuisance. Maybe mosquitoes or
cockroaches,
yeah.
they breathe like crazy.
Oh
If you
yeah.
get the little ones, they'll take over your house to the point.
Yeah, that's fair. And they are pretty gross, but also, they're pretty normal. They follow people around. They're people. They're insects. They're creatures that have figured out how to live with us, similar to like crows and seagulls.
Well, with units, if one unit's dirty and it starts attracting the little tiny ones,
Yeah.
city units will get it. To the point where I actually had to have my the bug bombs in my
Mm.
house because they'd be crawling everywhere, lift up the TV, big pile of black like little cockroaches.
Oh my God! You had that many?
Yeah, I had that many. This was when
Whoa!
I was working a lot. I couldn't do it, so I got my mum and dad to do it for me, which was cool.
Yeah.
But like my kitchen, like I come out and just see like all these piles of cockroaches just nope. And like I don't know what they were eating because my unit was not disgusting. So
They find stuff. They find
yeah,
stuff. Even if
but
it's
the name
just water. I remember not cockroaches but ants in when I lived in California, Southern California. It's oftentimes drought, and in the summer the ants don't want food, they want water. And I remember once in my in my I like had this I lived in the grad student dorm, so I shared a space with like four other people, and there was a trail of ants going from one of my roommates' rooms up to the ceiling, down to the floor, across the hall, and over the to the ceiling again, and then finally to the kitchen sink.
oh jeez.
It was like I don't know how they found it. I don't know how they got there, but within the course of a couple hours, they had like this whole assembly line figured out. This Congo line of ants getting heading to the sink to get water. Life finds a way. Life finds a way. But maybe we can move topics to something a little bit more
Oh
pleasant. Um,
yeah, all that
let's
fun.
go back to talking trips. So it's been a while since so it's been some time since we've both been home. Have you had any reflections about your trip that you'd be willing to share?
Oh, certainly. So like I've went over it, what I can do better next trip. Like for one, bring another phone, get an eSIM instead of, just and actually do some research. So like the visas and that.
Yeah.
Um, and like having more confidence is good coming back because if I want something, just have to talk. If I don't get it, it's all good. Um, and eating good because, well, younger me would hate me now. Like eating bloody quinoa every day. He's like, what the fuck is a quinoa? You know, a lot more water. But yeah, I think people just go over there and think they're like untouchable. Um,
Hmm.
I didn't go over thinking that, but all the stuff and even stuff happening at home, like it, I acknowledge it, but I don't let it weigh me down. Like, um, you lose your phone. That's all good. What's playing? It's the world's smallest violin. You just get it out, go for it. But you know,
Yeah.
um,
It's not the end of
yeah,
the world. You've still got your health. You've still got like you have your community. You're still in this place.
yeah. It's easier at home because you got a lot more there. But there's a lot of kind travelers that are essentially just strangers at that point that will be willing to help you. Like
Yeah.
this phone was one of the girls over there, the Bali one, and she sold it to me. So, which was very nice of her.
That's
Like,
great. Yeah.
good. I could have, well, had to spend like probably a day looking for a phone, but no, she helped me out,
Yeah.
and yeah, took her time. So, shout out to
It's
her.
great to have
She,
that community.
yeah, yeah. So it's good the communities you make over there in such small time as well.
Yeah.
Like you just meet them, and if you know, you know. Like where will we go next year? Who knows? But I'm pretty sure we'll meet up again.
Yes. That'd be fun. I would love to do it and meet up more.
We'll just, but I won't lose my phone this time.
Yeah. Hey, this is the beauty of traveling is that you learn a lot about you learn more every time, even if it's practical things like how do you travel, how do you get around. And a lot of these lessons aren't just important for when we're traveling, but also in our normal everyday lives. Like you learn, like it sounds like how you approach confidence or maybe how you think about your own self-confidence is something that you learned through this trip, which is like definitely commendable. How do you like what is confidence to you?
That's confidence is being able to enter the room and you know take on everyone's opinion. They're obviously going to make judgment, but not letting that phase me. Like I am my own person, and if there's something on my mind, um, speaking it like not obviously rude, but like if you want something, you got to speak up. It's
Mhm.
not everything's going to fall into your hands, which is pretty good. But
But does confidence have to be about like speaking up for something you want?
it can also be speaking up for other people as well because they can be shy,
Hmm.
always helping one another.
Well,
You
does it
know.
have to be speaking up at all? Can you be confident without speaking up?
Sometimes actions speak better than words as well. So,
That's true. Yeah.
my own little thing. But having a little confidence boost is nice and it's not to be mistaken as ego, like, you know, or egotistical, you know. So,
I think it's a so in my view there's a fine line and it's a very ambiguous line between like being confident in yourself and being like maybe egotistical. Um, I think it's ultimately like people will have different perspectives on what that difference is. I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's as clear cut as we would like to think. It usually it is kind of a gut check. Like, does this feel like the right thing? And some people will perceive it differently. And you know what? You've got to be okay with some people saying like, you know what, that Jason guy, he's kind of narcissistic. He says
or
he's confident. Nah.
he's a bit of a space cadet because I told
Space
you how like
cadet.
I had a certain friend go, "Oh, you are just going to be talking, you know, pitter patter and space cadet," and I'm like, "Yeah, probably, but it will be fun." So it's a bit
Yeah.
nervous before, and I was like, "Ah, it's not going on the link because who knew Google Chat? You actually have to use Google lots of time."
To be fair, I didn't expect that to be a problem either. We were having some technical difficulties in the setting up the podcast, but we made it. It was actually easier than we expected.
It was like a 20-minute wait, wasn't it?
Yeah, 15 minutes, something like that. No, you know what? It's not a good podcast episode if you don't get some technical difficulties in the beginning. You just hope you don't get them during.
It's like full circle from last year, where
Yeah.
I'm just look at that, pretty much a squill.
Yeah, and for those that saw the episode last year, you'll notice that Jason has been much more focused this year, and for that, I have to commend you, dude. I think it shows like the growth you've been doing.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah. So as we're wrapping up, what's next for Jason?
Well, hopefully progression in work because I love what I do. So maybe a promotion or maybe more responsibilities.
Hey, fingers crossed. Oh.
Right. Doors are always open for romantical encounters on my end, and I reckon
Ooh.
in future, just enjoying life, taking care of myself, and then plan trip for next year. So, a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
I'll see you next year, like on a trip. But to any of the others that are listening as well, where will we meet? Doors always open. Because a lot of them closed their door last year, but a lot of the people on this trip, doors are open, and they know that, and their doors are open as well, which is good. So,
And I hope those doors stay open. And you know what? I want to believe that it takes two people to officially close a door. I think if you want to reach out, you can try to open that door.
that's nice.
And yeah, let me know where you want to meet next year. I'm definitely down.
Even if it's just 3 days, we'll swing by.
Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, just let me know.
That's good. But we'll stay in contact.
Yeah.
And till then, to everybody as well, I'll do my best. Goodbye, my lovers.
Thank you so much, Jason, for joining us. It was a lot of fun to catch up and chat and hear about all of your adventures.
Crazy, yeah.
And thank you all for watching and listening to the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, make sure to like and share the podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Authentic Chaos. And as always, embrace your chaos with kindness.